Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brag About It. I'm Carlene Bragg.
And I'm Megan Bragg.
We're the Braggs.
We're the Braggs. Here we are once again, Carlene, for another Brag About It show. So excited because today we have someone really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Charlotte does have an influencer scene. We know that.
Sure.
We've seen it on TikTok, social media, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we have one really cool influencer that honestly, I do have to say this. When I was on TikTok, this guy kept popping up. And I'm like, who is this popping up talking about chicken all the time? Caesar wraps, right? I'm like, who is he? I ended up following him because I do love me a chicken Caesar wrap.
We know how to eat.
Listen.
The Braggs know how to eat.
We eat pretty good.
Yeah.
So, PapiEatsCLT is in the house.
Yay!
Mark Ingalls, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Listen, the reason why, we love you so much, and I think Charlotte loves you so much, is because, and I'm not gonna, this might sound a little rude, but you're just like a regular schmegular guy doing your thing.
I try. That's why I don't go by the influencer term. I'm just
Yes.
some guy in
You're
his
just some
car
guy who
walking
likes to
around
eat.
eating. Right.
I know, and you're very relatable.
You're a guy who eats in his car, which is the most relatable thing.
It's the most relatable
Exactly.
thing. Okay, let's talk about how this all happened.
Who are you?
Yeah, who is Papi Eats?
So back in 2020, when the pandemic really hit, I got laid off from my job. I was watching a lot of YouTube, and I started watching some of these guys just reviewing like Taco Bell and pizzas in their cars. You know, Dave Portnoy and his pizza series. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that. I got nothing better to do.
Right.
So I kind of built that up for, I don't know, about 5-6 years now. And just last year, some of my friends said, you should do a Charlotte-focused thing. So I started hopping around doing that, and well,
We're
here
good
we
friends.
are.
Popped off.
It was a good tip.
Yeah.
Thanks, Evan. I appreciate it.
Exactly. It really did pop off. Did you think that this was going to happen?
I never thought that it would blow up as much as it did. And I never thought, even at the small level I'm at, that I'd be sitting here talking to you. You know, like, well, this is wild.
Oh my gosh,
So
no.
what was your first viral video? What's the thing that you felt like that started gaining numbers and traction?
Yeah, for the Charlotte account, I didn't realize what a thing chicken Caesar wraps were.
Yeah.
Everyone.
And
Caesar wrap.
someone DM'd me and said, where can I find one of these big Caesar wraps that went viral down in Florida? I'm like, I don't know. Let me go try some. And then everyone just latched on with recommendations, and the views were going crazy, and people said they were talking about me at work. And I'm like, what is going on? So I think 50 chicken Caesar wraps later or so, I was a name.
And okay, so I know that you do have a full-time job, but when do you find time to do this? You're just going out on your lunch break, or what?
Sometimes I squeeze it into lunch breaks. Sometimes it's going around on the weekend, hitting 3 or 4 spots in a row. Sometimes in the evenings. Spend tons of time editing and just posting after work. It's a lot of time.
That's a second job.
It's a second job. It's stressful, but it's fun. It's rewarding, I guess.
Right. What would you say okay, I want to put this, tie this in, because obviously we have to talk about 585. Me and Papi Eats obviously are from the same area, just because we're cool, right? And obviously. But if your friends were in a room with you, how would they describe you? Because we know you from, testing those chickens and Philly cheesesteaks and everything.
Wings,
but what would people say your personality is like?
They would say that is me, just being myself, saying what I'm thinking. The whole Papi nickname was something they kind of came up with back in the day.
Yeah,
that was
fun,
it's fun, right?
It's fun.
Mark is
Right.
boring. Papi's cool.
Papi is cool.
I'm not even a dad. Or,
You don't have to be.
I don't think so. So they call me that. That was like my alter ego. Papi was cool Mark. So if I go up there, I'm not Mark. I'm Papi.
You're Papi.
And this is him. You
Do
know?
people call you, do you walk into restaurants or anything they call you Papi? Do you get recognized now?
The weirdest thing, you would think with such a small following I wouldn't, but I can't go anywhere anymore.
Really?
I can walk down the street and people will roll down their windows and go, Papi! I'm like,
awesome.
what?
Wow.
You're a
See,
local celeb.
It's
and it's so
a time.
it's so funny to me because people ask me this too. Do you get recognized? And I'm like, never. Like, and if I do, they're like 85 plus. They're like, Megan, I love you. I'm like,
that's something. Come
no,
on.
it is. No, but I'm just saying, like, it's really cool that this has really stuck. But not only like, but really in the Charlotte community.
Yeah.
I feel like you're such
homegrown, even though you're not from here, but it's homegrown.
Yeah, like people see you and are like, oh my gosh, like part of Charlotte,
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. Let's talk about some of maybe the controversy that you've had to get in because of this. Is it hard to review something and it not be up to your standards and then you're getting backlash?
All the time. But I think that's what makes it exciting, because I don't pretend that I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's entertainment. I like to eat. I love to eat.
Yeah.
And I know what I like. So I just tell people what I think. And people have very strong opinions on it. But they love the drama. They love the excitement. They love a strong opinion.
People love the buzz.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as it drives up controversy, I think that's what makes it exciting to watch.
Has a restaurant ever been like, you're never welcome here?
Yeah.
Not yet, surprisingly. There's a few
Great.
that I won't set foot in again, but
sure.
nobody's ever told me don't set foot here again.
Good.
That
What's
would
your
be something.
Biggest food hot take. We all got them. It doesn't even have to be foods that you've tried, just in general.
Come on, Poppy. Let's
I
hear
don't-
it.
I'll go first. I think s'mores are overrated. I think s'mores are overrated, and s'mores flavored things are overrated. There was a
Good for
couple
you,
years ago where they were
Connie.
just popping up everywhere. I'm like, I'm over it.
She's over it.
The
That's
big old over it.
that's fair. I wouldn't say it's my biggest take, but hot honey kind of had that sort of
Ooh,
vibe, and I think
yeah.
that's getting old. It's just hot honey
It's
everything,
everywhere.
right?
Yeah.
I'm
True.
Getting sick of that.
Yeah, the
Not
like
that it's bad.
Nashville chicken, like
The Nashville
I
chicken.
love,
Yeah.
but like everybody, like calm
Yeah.
down. Like no.
I'm with
we
you
can calm
there.
down.
Okay, let's talk about best spots. Well, actually, no. Let's start with this. Best chicken Caesar wrap.
Yeah.
So, well, it's all subjective, and I stress that all the time.
Sure.
I tried so many, and you're looking for more flavor. You're looking for a well-packed Caesar wrap, right? And there's this little place out in Concord, and it's called Basilico Italiano. And I say Concord, but she likes to point out they're a street away from a Charlotte zip code, so I got a lot of
Right.
flack for that. But it's Charlotte. It's close enough. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was launching wraps to boost their lunch service last year, and she let me try one ahead of time. And I'm like, if you guys can keep this up, this is going to be the best.
Yeah.
I went back after they launched it, and it's the best.
Incredible.
And it's wild what happened with them. They were doing 9 to 10 tables a day for lunch. She started putting out 100, 200 wraps a day. They had to hire more staff. There were lines out the door. So if I've done anything for anybody in my life, I guess it's that
Poppy push.
I've helped
The
them.
Poppy push.
Push.
And it's amazing.
TM.
TM, yeah, trademark that. The Poppy push.
I like
You heard it here first.
I like it. I like it.
I would, and that is something that's amazing too, is that you're actually getting to help some of these restaurants.
Yeah.
We've seen it with that other famous influencer. I don't know if I
There was
forget
a
his name.
cheesesteak guy too.
Well, people like to say I'm like the Charlotte Keith Lee,
Yeah,
and that's
Keith
I don't
Lee.
go that far at
Yes.
all. But it feels nice to think I've helped at least some people sometimes.
I know, which is awesome. I think that's, really cool to kind of give back to your community in a way. People are always loving recommendations, especially food recommendations. I love watching, okay, this is going to be a weird freaking thing that I'm about to say.
Go
I was going to
ahead,
say I love
Go
watching
ahead.
people eat food. Like, it's like a
kinda
thing.
comforting.
Like,
It's a
yeah,
thing.
get it.
People love it.
It
People
is
love
a
it.
thing, like the mukbangs and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
so it's cool to definitely help your community out, which
Right.
is really cool.
Well, yeah, it's humbling just the whole experience. I don't.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's tough to deal with.
What's on the same vein? Is there an underrated spot besides the chicken Caesar wrap place that you're like people need to know about this?
I don't know if it's underrated, though. I still get people that don't know it. There's a place called Catalina Kitchen, and it's
Okay.
like my second favorite Caesar wrap. But the service there is fantastic. The food's great. They've validated parking. It's a great date spot. It's over in the Elizabeth neighborhood there, but
You get
I always love going
validated in
there.
Elizabeth?
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying.
That's what you need.
Hey,
That is what you need.
it's worth its weight in gold alone right there.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, we're going to take a quick break here, but when we come back, we're actually going to play a game
Yeah.
Ooh.
with Papi. He doesn't know it yet, but it's going to be really fun.
Surprise.
Surprise!
All right.
Okay, you're watching Brag About It. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Brag About It. I'm Megan Bragg.
Carlene here.
There she is. And of course, we got our Papi over here,
Papi.
PapiEatsCLT, just telling us all about the best places in Charlotte, of course. And now we're going to play a fun little game.
You like
Go.
games?
I love games. Let's
Right.
go. Let's do it.
We're gonna do blind rankings. 1 to
Okay.
5. 1's the best. 5 is not so the best.
This is just last.
You know, last.
It doesn't mean it's bad.
And
That's-
once you lock one in, it
You're
stays
done.
there. So you can't shuffle. I know, it's a lot of pressure.
Okay.
But it's fun.
It's
you
a
know.
fun time.
We'll
Get
start it off.
controversial. Let's see.
It's gonna be
Okay,
surrounded
yeah.
chicken.
Okay.
It's just chicken in general.
Yeah.
I do
We'll
chicken.
start with an easy one. That's one that everyone knows. I call it the chicken fillet, but Chick-fil-A.
We're gonna give them 3.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right.
We're writing this down, so.
Now we're gonna head to Harriet's. They have chicken.
Yeah, they do.
Have you had the chicken?
I have. I'm gonna give them a 4 though.
Okay. What about Miss Bossy Beulah?
I'm going 5 on that one.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
All right. This is gonna hurt me if you did that, but Bojangles. What are your thoughts on Bojangles? love
I should have
Bojangles.
thought you'd bring up Bojangles.
I'm country
Carolina,
boy, country
baby.
bred, runs on Bojangles. This girl.
I think that's the first food I had when I moved south or traveled south.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm scared of what 1 is. I'm gonna go 2. I'm gonna go 2 for
Okay.
Bojangles.
And have you had Leroy Fox?
Oh, I have, but I definitely wouldn't have put them at number 1.
So which order would you put them in?
So right now we have Leroy Fox, we have Bojangles, Chick-fil-A, Harriet's, and then Bossy Beulah.
You know, flip Bojangles and Leroy Fox there. I'm
Okay.
it's Charlotte, it's Bojangles. They got their
Oh,
ups and
there we
downs, but who doesn't
go.
love, you know, it's bow
It's
time,
bow
right?
time,
Let's go.
Baby. Okay, great.
Now, that wasn't that hard.
That wasn't.
No.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to get in a little deeper, though, with you, Papi. You know, influencing is not easy. A lot of people think, you know, you're just doing these little videos, right? What's like the hardest thing that you found about kind of doing these videos and the influencing behind it?
The hardest thing, I mean, I'd say 2 things. One is trying to stay kind of objective and not let your personal feelings get into it too much, but also a little bit so it still makes it a little more exciting. But I guess maybe the hardest thing since I started doing this years ago, and you kind of have to build a thick skin because you get a lot of mean comments.
Yeah.
Sure.
I can deal with differing opinions, but some people are just terrible.
Just mean to be mean.
listen.
And they would never say this stuff in person.
Never.
But man, so you gotta be able to take that a little bit and
Yeah.
remember that there's people that actually enjoy what you're doing still.
Right.
That kind of keeps me going.
I'm going to give you some advice right now because I've been doing this for 15 years and the mean comments, they never stop. And it doesn't get easier, right? It still like stings for sure, but I feel bad for those people, right? They don't know who you are and,
Right.
but you're doing a great job. You're helping the community and you're just doing something fun, right?
Yeah.
It's just something fun. That's all it is. It's entertainment.
Exactly. It is entertainment. So
I gotta ask you about the food scene here. So how long have you been here?
I've been here for just about 4.5 years now.
How's the food scene either evolved or changed over the time you came here to now?
Yeah, it's always growing. That's the thing in
That's
Charlotte. What's new? It's a new restaurant or a new
Right.
brewery or something, right? What's blown my mind about the Charlotte food scene, or maybe even the South in general, we just have an abundance of chicken tender chains and restaurants, and they just keep popping up. There's no end to them.
Yeah.
Can people not get enough chicken tenders? That's why I've been doing the chicken tenders lately.
Yes.
Like, people seem to love that.
do you ever get like over what you're eating? I mean, you've been eating a
Yeah.
lot of chicken, right? Are you ever
Yeah.
like, ugh, I have to
can't
eat chicken tenders again today?
Right.
You know, I do, but then if I stop for a couple of weeks, I'm like, you know what I could really go for is
tendies?
some tendies. It's tendy time, right?
Yeah. How is that hurt? Like, I mean, not your health, I would say, but
Oh, it
you
hurts
know,
your health more
yeah.
than whatever you're about to say.
I was gonna say, like, you said doing 3 times a day at sometimes. Does that get overwhelming?
It does. When I was at the height of that chicken Caesar wrap journey there, we'll call it, I was doing 2 or 3 wraps a day sometimes. And over the course of maybe 6 months, I put on 30 pounds. I felt the worst I ever did in my life. So I'd like to say now I'm back to pre-PapiEatsCLT weight.
Good for you. Congratulations.
But we need to get back to pre-Papi Eats weight.
Okay,
So
okay.
maybe lay off the tendies a little bit here. We'll see. We're trying.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
I want you to fill in the blank. Charlotte could really use a few more blank places. Is it maybe a style of cuisine or a type or something unique? I have one. If I can grease the wheels if you need me to.
Go for it.
Bagel shops. I feel like there's a lack of them. I mean, it's also, I'm sure it relates to where you live. I live in the Noda area. There ain't a bagel shop near me. I gotta
true.
drive to a bagel shop. I wanna walk to a bagel shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you're getting a pop-up bagels, maybe.
Ooh, am I getting a pop-up
I
bagel?
think. I
know
thought.
we-
I could be wrong. Or maybe
I think
Plaza
it's
Midwood
a
did.
Valentine pop-up bagels is now, right?
That was the first one here,
that
yeah.
was the first
Okay.
one, yeah.
And I think those are good, but
Yeah.
as a Rochester, New Yorker, I don't know the real bagel scene here.
Yeah.
But you know what I think we need more of? After I went to New York City over the winter here, and I started going to these pizza shops. I did like 9 pizzas in 2 days. And a lot of them, you can just go in and get a slice.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of that here. We've got
No.
a few late night giant slice places, but it's
Right.
not the same. And I want that like good kind of New York quality. Just get a slice. Just get a
for, like,
slice.
you know, a couple
Listen.
Pop in.
dollars and you're on your way.
Right. We
Yeah.
don't have that.
Me and my brother have been searching for that forever. I do have to say. So yeah, I feel you on that one.
Absolutely. More
Yes.
of that. That's where I'm at.
I do also too. Obviously, with influencing, there does come some benefits of, you know, like you were saying, it's a second-time job. You're doing a lot with this. So let's talk about partnerships, money. Have those started rolling in?
If you're comfortable talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like.
We want the
asking
tea.
you.
of
We
course,
want the
but,
tea.
you know,
Yeah.
If you wanna, you know.
Yeah, to a degree. My whole shtick, if you will, is that I wouldn't just go anywhere that was willing to pay me to come in and try stuff. And if I haven't been somewhere, I typically say, hey, I'll try and stop by sometime and I'll do one of my like reviews. I want to pay for the food.
Sure.
I want to say what I want to say.
Right.
So I've turned down a ton of stuff, but I've started to do some more.
Yeah.
Places that I know I'll love or that I've been to.
Mm-hmm.
I think my first real big one was like Finale Pizza because that's my favorite pizza in Charlotte.
Yeah.
And they wanted to work together, and so I said, sure, let's do it.
Right.
But you still get people now like, oh well, of course he said Finale's his favorite. He did a promotion with them, and it's hard to shake that.
Sure.
And I get it because I see other people doing the same thing. I go, well, did you really think that? And then I got to think about it. And I'm like, well, I'm doing that too. I don't know.
Yeah. No, and I'm
So-
sure that's difficult because you obviously are working so hard, right? Like you're doing this for fun, but it's not just, you should be getting some sort of payback, right?
It's a tough balance. And
Yeah.
there's ad revenue. TikTok does that, but Instagram, not a penny.
Yeah.
So
Would
it's really a side project at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there pressure knowing that like people follow and trust your opinion? Does that bring a pressure to when you get a new place?
I try not to think about it, but then it hits you hard when you go to some of these restaurants and they go, wow, we sold out of that cheesesteak or whatever you
Right.
pushed last week. Or I get people just endless comments saying, I went and tried it because of you. Or that.
It's rewarding though too, though.
It is, but I
Yeah.
try not to think about it because I just
Yeah.
want to be me when I'm reviewing that stuff.
Sure. And you don't want to feel like, if you don't like it, right? Then
Right.
it's like,
I'm not trying to hurt anyone.
yeah, you don't want to hurt a business. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a tough balance. I'm sure because, right, like you said, you're trying to be yourself. You're trying to be.
But being you has gotten you this far and
Yeah.
it's gotten you this much
It's-
success. You should continue to be you.
It's working so far, I
And,
guess,
and
right?
I do have to say, you come off on your videos very genuine, and that's that's one of the reasons why I clicked follow, because
100%.
I usually don't follow a lot of people on TikTok. I just like scroll and see them.
Sure.
But you kept popping up. I was like, I guess I gotta follow this guy. Like, but you just come off as very genuine too.
I appreciate it.
You've helped in my house at least settle, like, where do you want to eat? And I have 100% gone to your page and been like, well, let's try this place.
Yeah.
It's
Poppy
helped.
said it's good.
Yeah.
And that gets to me sometimes too, because people will go and they'll be like, I went and it was terrible, I hated it. I'm like, it's all subjective, I'm
subjective.
sorry.
Yes.
And a place can have a good night, a bad night, you never know.
Right.
We're all human.
Right. Okay. Well, when we come back, we're going to take a quick break, but it's going to be your chance to shine and brag about it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Brag About It. It's the time of the show we've all been waiting for. It's time for Poppy to brag about it with the Brag Girls. Come on.
We love this part. It's our favorite
Brag
part.
about it.
All right, I'm
What you wanna
ready.
brag about?
Yeah.
I don't know. I see, that's the thing. I try to stay humble. I hate
know.
bragging.
Hey, but it's okay.
This is where
This is where-
the safe zone where you can brag.
I can brag about it. You know, I mentioned that Caesar Rat place that I boosted up there. I'm really proud of that. I'd love to be able to do that for more spots. So I'm trying to find more local hidden gems. I think that's the future of this channel here, this account. I want to boost those small places if I can, find stuff that nobody's really blocked into. I think that felt great. And I think doing that kind of thing, it brings this different angle to some of these videos, these like influencer type things that you don't get from other accounts.
Yeah.
I want to keep that up. I think I've got something a little bit different, and I think that's why it hits. And I think that's why some people it definitely doesn't hit for. But I love how unique it is, at least in this area, at least for me.
Yeah.
Great.
Definitely. I also feel like too, because we do this too, where we actually boost you up too, because we like to boost people up here. But I think you working on this channel, it's not, you have been doing this for a while, right? You said pandemic, that's 2020. It is now 2026. So it's not like this, just happened overnight. You've been working at something, and you found the right niche, and you're putting work in, and it's hard work. So I think you should be very proud of yourself. And also people like me and Carlene saying, you come off genuine and all of that stuff. I think that's definitely huge too. So that's my brag for you right there.
I appreciate that. See,
Thank you,
Yeah, you're the
Poppy.
brags. You brag for me.
I know.
I gotcha. I don't need to do
We
it.
love bragging for
bragging.
people, but it's also a chance for you, to really.
Pat yourself on the back. You
Yeah.
worked hard. You said it's a second job in itself. Pat yourself on the back for it.
Okay, all right. I'll take it.
Is this something that you would consider doing full time?
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah.
'Cause, I'm not a 9-to-5 kind of guy. That's
Yeah.
draining on me. But I don't know how to turn this full time. I'm trying to find the balance of not selling out, if you will.
How has the influencer community been to you here in Charlotte?
It's interesting. I'm connected with most of these people at this point, and some of them I love. Some of them are a little different than you think when you see them online.
Sure.
I think what any of them will tell you is that I'm the same guy on camera as the goofy guy you run into in public. So it's been cool interacting with everyone.
So what's next for Poppy?
Next, I mentioned I want to do more of the local hidden gems, but also I want to get back into my YouTube stuff. I want to do more in the kitchen. I've been working at making pizza, and I'm not great at it, but I'd love to get better.
From scratch, the whole nine.
Right, I want to do the dough. I've got the food processor for making sauce and the cheese and everything. I want to dial that in.
Yeah.
So I think building that YouTube back up that's the next big thing for me. That'll potentially let me make that a full-time gig.
I'll subscribe.
I would
appreciate
subscribe to, very much so.
And that one's just Poppy Eats, no CLT on that
CLT.
one.
Okay,
Take it.
perfect. Poppy Eats. It's a great name for a great guy. We really appreciate
Yeah,
you.
this is a treat.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, that's Brag About It, y'all. Have a good one.
Take care.